We are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? I am Crunk Chocolate, and I'm here with the show, bro. Sharpie Charlie, how are you?
Mute.
Oh, you're.
Doing great. Now I'm off mute. How are you doing tonight, good sir?
I'm so good. I'm been looking forward to this all week. Got the friends with us, two people on here for the first time. That's very exciting.
Always fun.
Selma up first, our city fan. It's always nice to start off with the home crowd before
Ease into it. Yeah.
like you said, and possibly antagonize some other people and the fans that are the teams that they cheer for. It's always fun. It's always fun. Selma, Kathleen, JT, we out here. Where should we start? I mean, other than player after player after player joining Manchester City on the men's and the women's, it's just like money. Here you go.
This is what we've always wanted, bro. Like, we've talked about City blowing a bag, and this is the first time, I think,
let's go,
probably since the summer they got Hooley and Erling, where they brought in like multiple players at once. So this window is a dream come true. It's necessary. The form of the team, the age, the injuries forced their hand, right? Pep admitted mistakes from last summer, sticking with the band too long. And so, yeah, it's time to recharge, and it's exciting. And then on the women's side, same thing, right? Injuries spurred action. So you go across the globe. We get a Brazilian. We get a Japanese. You get all these different players. We already got the center back in earlier. So, like, it's nice to see both same city, same passion. You got to be active. Got to right some wrongs and try to have a great second half of the season.
And like you were saying in one of the watch-alongs, we're basically like the UN. It's just like country represented over there, country represented over there.
Uzbekistan, bro. I didn't know they played football in the Soviet bloc. I didn't know that. Did you know they were balling in Uzbekistan? I had never heard of this.
I had no idea, but I'm happy to see it. And in his interview, okay, so in comparison, Kushanov and Vita Rice, they both all their stuff dropped on the same day, including their personal interviews. And Kushanov's was like 3.5 minutes, where Vita Rice's was like 9. So like Kushanov is like the strong silent, and Vita Rice he's the party, he's the fun. So it's gonna be very interesting to kind of watch those two go at it, because you have no idea how Kuznetsov feels like at all. Like, he always just kind of looks annoyed to just be around people. I kind of like it.
Yeah, very the strong silent type. I like it. So I'm excited. And shouts to the women for getting their get back. In the E Fresh Cup, aka the Subway Cup. Needed that win. And they got it. So we're off to the semifinals there. So we had a positive week overall, even though France is not our friend. Hopefully we don't have to go back.
Man, and Caroline, me finding out that she is a Rock Nation athlete, like the opportunities that Manchester City are about to get into because of bringing her to Manchester City.
I just want Jay-Z and Daddy had one day.
If she balls out and they possibly get to win a championship, I'm sure he would pop up.
It'll be amazing. But we got some guest results too.
We do. Let's get to them. First up, I mean, we're talking all this Manchester City, so it'll be a nice little transition. First time on the Lid Stream, Shady Gang, give it up for Selma. Let's go.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Selma. I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity. Like, I've seen Selma on my Twitter, my X feed for so many years now. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I saw the name. I was like, yes. How are you doing this evening?
How are you? I'm great. That's how I felt like when I saw Crunk for the first time. I'm like, I've seen him all over the social media, and you all, like, all the commitment that you guys do and the work that you guys do, just kudos to you guys. So I'm just excited and grateful to be here.
Thank you so much.
And I guess all I'll say is the only reason why you see me so much is because I post a lot.
You do.
Hey,
and you know what?
That
shows that you care, and you guys all truly care.
We out here.
We believe Sky Blue, baby.
Appreciate that.
And that's what we need more of, especially right now as a City fan. We're going through tough times. I feel like we need to show that we care more than ever.
Can I start with a question, Kron?
Please, please.
For Selma, so again, you said it's tough times for us, and I will always say we are very spoiled, right? When you win 6 out of 7 Premier League, the treble, you just get used to winning and used to being top 2. How has this season been for you as a City fan?
So I'll just tell you a little background about me. I'm probably the baby City fan, maybe the babyest City fan that you've had. I started supporting in, I want to say, late 2020. And as many maybe Arsenal fans will say, you're a plastic fan or clout chaser or all the things that we've heard before. Just to backtrack on that, I came with zero knowledge about where City was, their history, how much they won. The only reason I chose them is because my brother was a Manchester United fan.
Come on.
I love it.
Because I loved Kevin De Bruyne, and I had moved back in home during COVID. My brother and my dad were watching the Premier League every morning. I'm like, I need to join in on this, And City was sitting in 8th place at the time, again, coming in with zero knowledge, right? So I'm like, I'm choosing a team where KDB is, because I remember watching him during the World Cup in Brazil on TV, not in Brazil, with my dad. And, my dad's played his whole life as well. So we're a big football family. So every year after that, we've been winning. So for me, all I know is City winning, City having these titles. And yes, it feels amazing and it feels fun to watch your team win. But now more than ever, I feel like is when you truly show that you're a fan. Just like Ipswich, we beat them, but their fans are out there still singing to the very end. They just lost. They lost so bad. And so many fans, so many fans would be like, I'm leaving, I'm leaving at losing 2-0. They're out there behind that goal and they're singing. And I looked at my dad as we're watching the match and I'm like, those are real fans. And this is where we are tested as fans. And for me, being still a newer fan, this is all new to me. And this is truly when we have to step up and be there for our team. It's not just about the wins. It's about being there throughout the losses. So that's where I'm at right now.
Hey, I mean, at least you know that as a newer fan, because there are newer fans out there that are just like, why aren't we winning? That's all I know of. So you're tempered. That's all.
And you'll see that with the younger fans, we see it on social media. We see it because even they are just used to the wins because they are younger fans. Even my own nephew, he's a younger fan. And I guess we all want to win too, So there's that as well.
Winning is very nice. I'm a fan of it.
It's so fun.
And I have to say that during this time, it's really honing in on just the positive energy, just being around positive fans too. And there's a reason why we all tune in and wake up at 6 a.m. in the States or even sometimes earlier to watch. We feel a connection to this team. And it's not just about the wins. It means something different to all of us. For me, I've built so many connections, so many relationships, and I will support through, everything that we go through. But I think for me, that's what there's more meaning behind it than just a win. So right now, I'm just trying to take it, one day at a time. And I'm really excited about the upcoming defender from Uzbekistan. We just
Kodir.
Yes. So, and I think that's something that we've been lacking this season is that we've just left it open in the defense side. Now, I was going to ask you guys, what do you think happened in terms of just where was the turning point for us and what kind of kept us going down?
Can I answer, Crump?
Please.
Rodri towards ACL. We always knew he was so important. Mm-hmm. And people always, Haaland or, Diaz or Kevin De Bruyne was the most important player. It was always Rodri. And the moment his ACL tore, I was like, I'm done. We're done.
And I was thinking about this last night too. I'm thinking I'm going to be on your podcast for the first time. And I do want to talk about things that, I have questions about. And so I took a look at a video about, Rodri was talking about his comeback recently. and also a video about just talking about his role as a central defensive midfielder and the concentration and patience and intelligence that is needed. It's something that can't be built overnight. And when we lost somebody that won a Ballon d'Or, that's the best CDM in the world, it's not, I feel like you're right. It just feel like, what do we have? Kovacic trying to replace. We had Gundo, and Gundo's older. He's not the player, let's admit it, that he was 2 years ago. After that, I feel like they all just kind of lost it. And the confidence, I know you guys were talking about Kate with this. I was listening to Kate's live stream as well. She was talking to you guys about the confidence. We just kind of lost that. Like Foden last year, our shining diamond, that wasn't here this year. We had injury after injury. We had
Reggie.
Stones. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, Sharpie gave him a beautiful nickname at the beginning of the season.
Who, Foden?
Yeah, I called him Reggie because I'm like, that was it's a term where I grew up that describes like very mediocre marijuana. And it's just like, it's Reggie, it's mid, it's not good. It's just average. And that's how he was playing. So I was like, I can't call you Phil till you start scoring goals.
It wasn't the Phil that Phil that stepped up. And just like we're seeing Gundo right now, yes, he's older. Remember when Kevin was injured, when Gundo stepped up and he was our midfielder. And we played with a false nine and we won games. And I feel like that confidence is lacking for us right now.
Yeah.
We need to build back the trust. We need to build back the trust with each other. And also we need to have more fun, I feel like. Do you guys remember our social media? Like just how these players were just backstage, having fun during training, building that trust, building that connection. I just feel like that's kind of lost this season.
Yeah, who are the people that are going to be bringing the fun? And that is definitely something that I'm most interested in. And I don't think it's going to be Kushanov, but maybe he's just holding the exterior. And
now, have you guys? Now, I've never watched League One, but I did look him up because I was really interested. And I feel like defense is what we're lacking right now. We need a strong defender. Kyle Walker was our captain, but, captain, I feel like, in my opinion, that shouldn't have maybe been captain. And
Sharpie is King Sharpie.
Now him against Vinicius Jr. during the Champions League.
Yes,
that's my Kyle. That's my Kyle.
Yes,
like that was the best. His speed, his pace, nobody could top that. And all respect to him. And he left. Right now we are in that rebuilding stage, but we do need a good, strong defender. Now, Kadir, he is, I think, like 21, 22. He's coming from League One. He has 18 months of experience there. He hasn't been in the Premier League, and now we all know. Even people were judging Haaland. Like, how are you going to do coming from Bundesliga to the Premier League? This is playing with the best of the best in the world. But what I really liked, and I watched some videos of him, is the pace, the speed, and he's really not afraid to tackle. He's kind of like my man Ake. That's my favorite defender. Just, I feel like with especially being much younger than Ake, I feel like there's so much potential there, and I'm really, really excited for that signing. But we also had two other signings. How do you guys feel about Omar and Reish? I think I want to say
it's actually pronounced with an H. It's like Heish.
Reish.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Portuguese is an interesting language. Prunk, I'll let you start because I've talked enough. How do you feel about the other two, sir?
Hold on. Hayes. He's great. He's okay. So he is more of the ball playing center back. He is also fantastic in the air and does have an eye for goal. So those are all exciting things. They really, I guess I don't remember which foot each prefers, but I would assume they would be the type to play next to each other because one is the strong defensive type and the other one is the ball playing center back. Yeah. And that is things that Pep loves and would, I assume, try to push forward to the future of Manchester City football. And hold on, Kushinov. Yeah.
Marmouche.
Oh, Marmouche! Let's go! I'm
Hey,
super
we have a
excited
number
about him.
7 now. Maybe this is our lucky
Thank
number
God.
7.
Sharpie,
Maybe.
yes.
Right?
Yeah, Sharpie mentioned that.
Cancelo was the problem. That number should have never went to him. They gave him too much. And that was the issue. But how you feel about Marmouche, Crump, before I jump in?
Yeah, no, Marmouche is fantastic. He can make his own goal, and that is something the team needs badly right now because they're all kind of trying to rely on each other instead of just like taking the chance. So Marmouche set pieces. He can cross. He prefers to play behind a striker, and we got Holland right there. Yeah, I mean,
be a strong duo, and especially I feel like you said, Crank, like if he has that intelligence to cross the ball to Holland, we're gonna need that, especially with KDB, getting towards the end, and that's gonna be my saddest moment because that's
he's the goal scorer. Like he's gonna actually challenge Holland.
Okay, so they're gonna be. Goals. I feel like he's gonna be our Julian Alvarez a little bit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, Tarek? That's exactly what I was thinking. So
everybody.
What up? With Marmouche, he even said, like, hey, I love to link. If you watch Jake, I love your emoji in the chat. But if you watch Frankfurt, him and Ekatite, they had a beautiful strike partnership. He would assist, he would score. I think he had double-digit assists and goals in this short, Bundesliga season so far in all comps. He's a perfect link. I think he's obviously more mature than when Julian Alvarez came in. He's 25 versus Julian was like 21 when he came in. So you have a seasoned pro, and he's played across the front line. For Egypt, he plays on the left, Salah's on the right. He's played as an 8, he's played as a 10. Yeah, he does everything. And so that flexibility is what Pep loves. And I think when you have that type of queen on the chessboard, you can move around is great. With the kids, like I think Victor long term, he could be more like a Laporte. That person we can depend on to help get those big diagonals back to the wingers, right? Like you can see him playing that ball to Doku or playing that ball to Savinho and like really opening up the pitch. Yeah, John Stones, same way. And so I think the profile of the players are to kind of replace what we've lost or, people that have just gotten older. And I think that's just smart business by Cheeky on his last window to make sure that like in Pep's last 2 years that he signed on, he's able to bring in the next generation that U23
players
talent.
who are there for Pep, and I feel like all of them have stated that they want to play with, for Pep. And I like Kadir the most is because, this is the history we're making. First player in the Premier League from Uzbekistan, and he said it in an interview, I'm playing for my country. And that's something to have that kind of pride and to say, like, this is not just for me, this is for the people that are watching at home. First player in the Premier League, and he's representing Manchester City. I think that's going to be big for us.
I love it.
So, Tarek, I know you just hopped on. We were saying, like, how did you feel? They're young kids, but how do you feel about the two center backs, Marmouche? Any players stick out to you, or anybody that you're interested to see maybe make a debut on Saturday against Chelsea?
Yeah, so I want to see, quite honestly, I want to see all of them. I am so like over this season right now. So I've already turned my head to next season. So I wanted to see what we got. And reality is we need bodies, man. Real talk.
Yes. And
we need people that are going to be healthy and that we can run out there. And so they're not ready. They've only been here for less than a week. They've maybe not even, I don't know how well they even speak the language, right? So there's going to be, they're not going to be on day one.
Marmouche does. Marmouche, he's great. Right. He's great. But the other two, no.
Pep said in an interview, he's like, hopefully he can learn English.
So to your point, Hayes, he's going to benefit from having
there's like 6
Savinho,
or 7 of them.
He's going to have Ederson. Yeah. So Diaz, I don't know Bernardo. For Kadir, or however we say his name.
Kadir.
So I don't know what that's going to look like when they actually get on the pitch, but I just want to see them out there. Kadir is, everything I've seen, the comps, whatever, he's very physical, very aggressive. And I think we need that profile. You know, we've become, so and I've said this analogy before. I grew up a Laker fan in the 80s, right? They were the most finesse team ever. They weren't coming out here trying to battle and grind and all that. They were finesse. They were going to run. It was going to be pretty. But when they came up against a team that wanted to push them around, AKA the Boston Celtics, it was not always pretty. We have become a very finesse team. Without Rodri, we have no steel. We have no spine. And we just get pushed around physically, like literally pushed around in the case of some of our players. You know, we talk about Louis Rico, he's literally getting pushed around, right? We have no, so I'm looking for some physicalness. I'm looking for some strength. I'm looking for some passion, because I think I've kind of been missing that. So I put them on there. We can't be any worse than what we've got already. So put them out there.
I mean, thanks for jinxing us, though.
Hey, I mean, again, I'm, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I've already turned my head to next year. I just want us to get, ideally, just get us in that top 4 race, and I don't care about nothing else, man. I'm not really care about trophies, because I'm not expecting them. Would I take them? Of course, but I don't expect them. Not the way that this season has gone. So what I'm hoping is that we effectively, this is our preseason. We got this. We got the tournament here in the States. That is what's going to help prepare us for the start of next season. And I hope we hit the ground running and we never look back. But, you know, we're going to have one of them off seasons.
Locked in for the next 9 years. And I feel like that's something that
Thank you, John. What a guy.
Is such a positive, you know, reinforcement that we have our striker set in.
Ooh,
you know?
I don't like that.
And not to mention, I just feel like right now we all need to, like, as fans, just bring more of that positive energy for them. I was just going to share something fun with you guys. I know that, you know, Tariq, you know, you're talking about, I'm already looking forward to the next season. So I don't even want to talk about these guys.
Yeah.
But just being a City fan for the past, you know, 5 years now, for me, there's been some fun encounters, and one that I just want to bring up with you, and I want to ask you guys too, what's something that, like, your maybe most memorable City memory or as a fan that you cherish. For me, I think just watching with my family, building that bond with my nephew, but also last year, right before we played West Ham to secure our 4th title in a row, I was at Cane's. I don't know if you guys know where, if you have Cane's by you, Cane's Chicken.
Oh, like Raising Cane's?
Up an order. I was picking up an order, right? It was May, you know, right before our match with West Ham. Wearing my City hat, parking. I parked, I was like, let me park the car next to this other car. I didn't even randomly park the car. Look to my left, lady's wearing a City shirt. I'm like, really? She looked at me, she looked at my hat, and I'm assuming, okay, she's a City fan, right? This is a sign. She said, I got this shirt at Goodwill. I have no idea what this is. I was like, are you kidding me? She's like, I don't know what this is. I haven't watched a soccer match in my life. So here I am trying to, like, quickly explain to her. She's like with her daughters trying to go get her food. And I was like,
let me give you $5 for that shirt.
I literally was like, I got to take a picture with you. This is a sign. I got her number. And the next day we secured our 4th title in a row. I sent her $24 for 2024.
There you
and
go.
She was like, you don't have to do that. I was like, I have to, because this is a sign. And, like, this is what it means to me more. Like, it's brought in so much good energy to me. And yes, I've been a fan during these winning times. And right now we are going through that rebuild. But just talking to you guys, talking to other fans, like, this is what it's all about, building that community and the love for the game. And I feel like watching City and how they play, I chose a team that really, like, their style of playing football, like, it's just unreal. I remember seeing Mahrez play in the Lambeau Field. We went to go see the friendly. There was an older man behind me, and he was saying, how does he do that? And I remember always watching him too with my dad. And I'm like, I feel like there's, like, glue stuck to his cleats, like, just the way he gets that.
Yep. His first touch.
his first touch, and just seeing those magical moments like that, just the way they played, the connection between them. Like, I feel like this is all we're missing that this season, but I do feel like we're gonna get it back. So I'm excited.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Well, please let people know where they can find you and the things you do. I know it's mostly Twitter, but
I'm trying to go back. I know that you guys aren't on there anymore, so I'm learning.
Yeah. We'll see.
I am on Twitter, Selms, Spark23B on Instagram. Always here to support you guys. Kudos to everything that you guys do. I did sign up to be a Patreon.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, that is so dope. That is so dope. Thank you. Thank you.
That means a lot.
Absolutely. And I just feel like, you guys keep doing what you do, bringing out that positive energy. It's really great that you are building a community, not just for City fans, but you're also interacting with Arsenal fans, and you're talking to, Liverpool fans and the women's team, and just really building this culture here in the United States where, it's football and soccer, it's not the number one sport. So I just think it's wonderful. So just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be here supporting.
Hey,
thank you so much, Selma.
Appreciate
it.
Man, so thankful. Yeah, that is so dope.
You.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Have a good rest of your night.
Time. You too.
Talk soon.
So great. Let's go. Okay. Now, Madridista. Ole. JD.
What's good, fellas?
¿Cómo se dice?
Hey, what's up with you, man?
Muy bien.
How's it going?
What's going on?
Wait, can I read this real quick? I love the Blue Sky bio. Good at kicking balls, terrible at Blue Sky. I once took a selfie with Florentino Perez. Can you start with that? How did this selfie come about?
Yeah, so I had a job working in law enforcement, and Real coming to Columbus, Ohio was like a big deal, right? They were playing in Ohio Stadium where the Buckeyes play, and they were in PSG with it was called the International Champions Cup. And so I was like, oh man, I gotta do whatever it takes. So like the people at work didn't know what was going on. They were like, all right, go John, go cover that and all that. So I got it right at the front of the line. I knew where the hotel was and everything. And there were a ton of people there. I mean, this is Columbus, Ohio. Bus pulls up. I'm like, Zidane's the coach at the time. That's my favorite player. That's my guy. I had the jersey ready for him. I said his name. He looked at me and just kept walking. And then all the players went in. And Florentino was off the bus. And he stopped and did autographs for like all the people waiting in line. And my Spanish ain't that great, especially during that time. But I just said, I don't even remember what I said. And he like looked at me. He came over. He gave me a soccer ball and he signed it. And then he took a selfie with me. So, and like that was it. Like I was already a Madridista fan, but like after that, I signed up to be there, even though I'm in the States and in Spain and all that stuff. So that just solidified everything for me. Like, but he's a quiet dude. He didn't say nothing. Like I just told him, he just came over. He didn't say or nothing. He didn't even smile. He just had that same look. Like how he looks is just how he looks. Like you can't tell if he's happy, mad, or whatever. So, but he did that. So I just thought that was cool. Like here's the big president of La Liga, in my opinion, and one of the most influential owners in the game, and he took that picture with me. So yeah, I always brag about that, but that's just something I hold on. I got the ball and his signature.
Yeah, that's a dope story.
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. Like I said,
like a Real Madrid fan smoozing up to the commissioner. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Got a picture with a mob boss. That's crazy. I hear mob boss. Wow.
Everybody being nice, and they're just like, am I listening to this? It sounds like collusion to me. This sounds like mischief. What is going on?
I'll never forget that, and that was a great moment. That was a good time, man. Like I said, like it came to my city. And I'm sure y'all been to preseason games and stuff like that, but just to have that access right there. I really wanted Zizou. Like Flo was just like, all right,
that would be crazy.
If I could have got Zizou, that would have made my day.
How much French do you know? Because that's the only way you're getting him. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I brought the jersey and just held it up, and I just said Zizou. He looked at me, and he just went right into the hotel.
Real quick, Zizou is my first introduction to international football. Like randomly, ABC had the World Cup. That was the match I looked at with the headbutt. Like that was the match that I just randomly turned to,
Italy, right?
and I was like, "Yo, this sport is crazy. They headbutt folks.
Yeah.
They wilding. Like I'm in."
Yeah, I think a lot of people's introduction to Zizou was that. When I was younger, I had a friend whose dad had like this big satellite in his backyard. I'm showing my age a little bit, but
Oh, gee, yeah.
His dad from Africa, and so he would have the games on. I don't know how, but he had the games on. So that's how I got introduced to this La Liga in general, or this Real Madrid in general. And so I saw that. But yeah, the World Cup, his Brazil performances, and then I just went out that way against Italy, and a lot of people like blamed him. That was kind of Cristiano Ronaldo moment where he gets the red card, and Portugal was hating on him and all that stuff.
That was wild.
Back a moment, like he got the red card. I feel like a lot of stars have had like similar situations where they
crash out
a little bit and they get that red card, and that's what they remember for. But man, he's just the guy to me. Like just everything he did, just from the midfield and everything, and he influenced a lot of people. And then like a lot of people think that him playing at Real Madrid was like his best time, but if you really know Zizou, like the best moments of his career were at Juventus. Like if you watch those highlights, like that dude was insane. He was crazy. And after that, I just tried to mold my game. After that, it didn't get me far, which is I'm sitting right here with y'all. But I loved it, man. But I also think that we don't have any more number 10s like that in the modern era. Like Ozil was probably close like that to that. Kaká. I don't think we did that. I just don't think we had that in the modern game anymore. Like that true 10 that can just be that game changer for you. I know there are some cams out there, but they're just not like they're not the guy. You know what I mean? I mean, I think Jude showed a little bit of that for us last year, but that was just circumstantial. Like you see, he's not been able to do that anymore, especially with like Mbappe out there and everything. But I kind of miss that. I kind of miss that, like that could just take over games, help the team out, whether assist or like that. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of goals being scored for a lot of midfielders, but I don't think that true number 10 is out there right now. I would love to see that come back, but modern game just isn't allowing that for some reason. But I miss those days.
That's facts. I mean, I love Jamal Musiala. Like he's a man to me, and I think he could get there because he definitely can score on his own, and he is getting better at creating for other people. He holds the ball a little too long to be a true playmaker. Once he learns to like temperature check, like once he learns to control all of that, he'll be where he should be. And that's why he needs to come to Manchester City, because you're not going to do it at Bayern, because company is just going to come back to us anyway. So it's just like, I mean, if you want to like cook at Bayern for a few years and then come with him to us, that's cool too, man. Just like
see that.
It up. Yeah,
I can see that. I mean,
I'm all right with that.
Y'all definitely had the money to make that happen. And
just like y'all do. Whoa, don't be out here talking like y'all some broke boys. Like, oh, y'all got the money to make that. Come on, bro. Y'all just made $1 billion.
We good.
$1 billion with a B.
We don't need to do that. I this was kind of alluding to like, because I was deciding
Deloitte Kings over here.
I was deciding on what I was really going to talk about. But now that we're talking about like 10s and everything, I really think football is going through like a new renaissance right now, and I think as a neutral, or if you're just a fan of the sport or your club, like, and y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I think City kind of going through what they're going through is good for the sport in general. Like your last guest, Selma, just said like, this is where like you really become the fan, right? Like,
we'll shed some people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
please.
I think it's just a good thing because you'll always, and then when you guys get back up, like it'll hit that reset button for you, and I just love seeing like,
you though. They're going to just be Real Madrid fans. We actually want to win, so we're just going to become Real Madrid fans.
Everybody wants to win, but even us this year, like my club, like I had to say this to all fans, like y'all can look at me crazy, but this has been the strangest season I can remember for us in a long time, because like I have to keep looking at the table to see like we're number one, like we're at the top of the table because we've had like some bad results. We've had some bad moments, like the whole Kylian Mbappe thing, and just like Rodrigo, Vinny, Jude, like all meshing together. Like it was bad. It was real bad. And then and Barca was cooking. And now if you look, Barca in third, they're like 6 points behind us. Atletico Madrid is 2 points behind us. Athletic Club is in fourth. Like all these like La Liga is wide open right now, to be honest. But like if you look at Madrid and see all the scrutiny that we're getting as a team, our defense is terrible. Like we can't defend ourselves out of anything right now. But somehow we're still at the top of the league. And Barca just has owned us. Like they scored 9 goals on us in 2 games. We're at the top of the table. Like, and then in the Premier League, you have like teams like Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. Like I just think it's just a new renaissance. Like you're getting to see these smaller teams. And now you're getting to see like these younger players or players that like you would have never paid attention to. I just think this is a good time to be a football fan right now. All the giants aren't like having those giant moments. Serie A, like Napoli's at the top of the table. Atalanta is right there. Like all the main players it's not predictable anymore. How about that? The sport isn't predictable anymore right now in this moment, and I love that. And then I think the Champions League is also helping with that. Like Liverpool and Barca 1 and 2, but like the rest of the table, like you look at that and be like, how are they here? And then the playoff format, I think it's dope. I mean, it's kind of hypocritical because they didn't want to have the Super League, but this new Champions League format is a Super League. Let's just call spade a spade.
But also the Super League is still going to happen.
Yeah.
The difference though with the Super League when they first announced it was it wasn't like quote unquote promotion relegation. You didn't get in because you were the best team in your league this year. Yeah. It was kind of locked in. It was the Americanization of the sport. And so they wanted to get away from that. We're the NFL. We got these locked in teams. Yep. So they wanted everything about the Super League except that one part. That's the thing that I think the fans were like, we're not going for that. Yep. And so that made the English teams back out. But you take that one piece away, ain't nobody got no problems. Everybody wants more money. Bro. We just got to win some games so we can get some more money. But, I can't complain, I guess.
We just have to make it fair, Make it fair for everybody.
I agree with all that. And going back to Flo, he presented that terribly, right? Like it looked like a money grab. It looked super exclusive. So kudos to the Champions League. I think a lot of people are still kind of iffy, like, how's this going to work out? But this is dope. Like even us sitting at like 16th, like we lost to Lille. We've struggled. Even yesterday, like we struggled to Salzburg in like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, out of this. Like, I just think it's introducing more of the smaller, obscure clubs. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing these small and obscure clubs like really take their chances. Like we've seen a lot of upset wins in this format. And
we know.
And matchups that
Sporting, like come on.
Yeah. But the matchups, right? Like the matchups have been great. Like you kind of get in like a headline every Tuesday or Wednesday. So I just think this is like a real nice renaissance moment to be a football fan right now. Whether your team is up or down, like if you just enjoy the sport, I mean, even going back to like the Euros or even the Olympics, like the women's Olympics, it started there, and then the Euros, and then now this season's campaign. Like, it's just a good time to be a football fan or just a neutral in general, man. I'm really enjoying the campaign this year.
Yeah, and then the Club World Cup, and then the leagues will start again, and then there's another.
I still feel kind of way about the Club World
seasons will start all over again. And
I would throw the Club World Cup in the abyss right now. Like we don't need it.
The money. Sharpie, you were gonna say something earlier, yeah?
Dog's going crazy. Y'all keep going.
Oh, okay. No worries. Man, okay.
You sound like you got something to say to me. You sound like you got something.
No, I've been digging at Real Madrid the entire time. I'm having a good time, so like we're good. But I'm trying to figure out because how do you combine everything? Because you're also supposed to get Alphonso Davies, supposedly, or Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that's just a lot of people who want the football. And the one time they went and aimed for the galaxy and fun things happened. So, I mean, are they starting to fly a little too close to the sun, or are they good?
I think so. We do need a right back. We need a left back. I think Trent is the better option because we've seen that type of player before with Marcelo. Is he Marcelo? Will he be Marcelo? Probably not. But he
Can I pause you for a second?
Yep.
I loved Marcelo. Marcelo was dope. That dude was dope. He wasn't on my team, so I didn't want. Of course, we were playing it.
Yeah.
But just as a neutral watching, Marcelo was nice,
and he's so clutch. He was
an offensive player.
He was dope.
Got moved to wing back, and then he did there. But he's known for not being the greatest defender. But so that's why I think the thing makes more sense. Alphonso Davies, I don't think it's gonna happen. To be honest, that's just me. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they want Trent more. They need somebody to link up. They want to put somebody to link up with Vinny.
You don't think they'll do Trent on the right and Davies on the left?
Probably. I mean, if that's what they want to do, but what I'm hearing is they would want to move Trent all around, but I don't know. I think we'll get Trent more than Alphonso Davies. Davies had a lot of injuries, so I don't know. But we've seen this before. We've had the Florentino Perez went through like 5 managers during that era. I thought we were going to fire Carlo this season, and then I thought.
So then Musiala comes our way. That's fine.
Yeah.
They can't keep everybody. They can't keep everybody.
I thought Carlo was going to get axed, but I think out of respect, we were going to let him finish the season, whether we were doing good or not, just because of what he's done for us. But I still think at the end of the season, like it's time for him to move on. I think that will shake up some things.
Xabi Alonso on the way. We all know it. It's cute. You saying it like you don't know what's about to happen. We all know, bro. Like it's okay. Just own it. That man stayed at Leverkusen to give Don Carlo one more year. Help sign his extension, so that's out the window. We already know what it is, JT. You don't play with me, man. Come on, dog. Let's say this. You know what's coming. It might be doomed. They might wait till like the day after the Champions League final that y'all gonna be in again, and then they'll say, "Oh, after the parade, it'll be the day after the parade." Xabi Alonso coming back home, Madrista, like, okay, it's cute. Y'all got it, man.
Honestly,
y'all don't stop.
Yeah, that's all facts because that coaching tree, Zidane was there with Flo. Xavi was there or during those times, got his coaching under there. I think just because of that tree and Flo just wants to be sticking with people around that Carlo orbit, Xabi Alonso is probably going to be the next man up. But
that man took Leverkusen to beat Bayern, bro. Embarrassed Bayern. That was the job application right there. He was like, I'm good.
Like he's like Florian Wirtz. That boy's bad. Like I know we're talking about Musiala, but Wirtz is really nice. Like really nice.
Germany having both? That's insane. Like they just get like UBR8s now. Like step up. Come on, it's unfair. Actually,
either or. So, but yeah, back to the Davies thing. I just think he's going to stay at Bayern. I think he's a little bit too ouchy for us. And after what we've been experiencing with center backs, Carvajal, I think we're going to look for somebody a little bit younger, up and coming, and just get them up. But I think Trent's coming no matter what. To be honest, I think Trent's coming no matter what. But we got to figure out our defense. I hate seeing too many back there, center back. I know he hates it. I hate it. And now I think he's going to be on the bench for a while because Danny Ceballos has been balling for us. The game yesterday, he had a 99% passer rating. He was untouchable. He was paired up with Luka Modric, who's damn near 40. He looked unstoppable yesterday. So I feel bad for Kamavinga and Tchouaméni because they've just been kind of like the odd man's out. Like,
hey, come to City, boys. We can always use some French boys. Like, come through.
let's not get crazy. But I said they still the
future.
future.
Take one. It don't matter which one. I'll take either.
They still the future, but like the vets stepping up. Like if you would have told me like Danny Ceballos would have been like a key main character for us in the midfield this season, I'd have thought you was crazy. And Luka,
it's time to get impatient, raise hell, get your agents out there. I want to go to the biggest league. I want the big bag. Like I want the French Revolution. Let's go. Y'all got Mbappe. We'll take a French one, okay? Y'all got too many.
Y'all can definitely try it. Just come with that bag that y'all spending. Y'all paying these players something crazy. Woo.
We doing
only 3 players, but if you had to get rid of one,
say the name. You know who you're talking about.
Hey, we doing free transfers over here, buddy.
500,000 a week, baby, for Holland and bonuses. He's worth it. We're out here.
He's worth it.
Do we even know Mbappe's contract? Because I feel like the number he's getting can't be real. Like it's a number that we won't know until the documentary comes out. Like it's insane.
It's kind of like
from PSG. You got to get a bag.
With the Barca, like nobody knows how much they really paid. Like even the contract, like had a number, but there might have been more money just to even had a conversation and get them there because Florentino was.
And now we can circle back to that photo that he was talking that we asked him about earlier. Like how does all this stuff work? It helps. When the commission's just like, oh, hey, Real Madrid, selfie? Yeah, I got you.
yeah. But, I mean, I really just think going back to, like, this renaissance, again, I jokingly say, like, Man City kind of struggling is good for football. But I do, like hearing y'all get excited about these signings and stuff, like, just remember that, like, y'all looking for the future. And y'all still in it. But this ain't what y'all used to. And trust me, as a Real Madrid, I've been through the highs and lows. Like, we've had stacked teams, but like the standards is high for both of our clubs. And so if we're not meeting those standards, like it kind of feels low. But I really do think like y'all will remember this in a positive light once y'all get back up, especially next season. It's just not sustainable for like you to win a treble, come to deal with injuries, players getting older. So I really just think your last guest like is really locked in and tuned in on that, and like she didn't show like despair or anything. Like she was excited about like the future and everything. Y'all were talking about the young boys coming up and everything like that, and that's the quality of a good club. Like it's like next man up. Like if you got to build up your young players, y'all make the right things. Sometimes y'all give them away. Thank you for giving us money, but. Yeah, the number might be higher than that. It might be higher than that. But yeah, y'all need to step up though. Y'all need to wake up. I don't know what y'all was doing yesterday in Champions League.
Man, you tell me we ain't talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're not here to talk about that.
Have you seen him wrong?
Hey, but you know what he said earlier when he was talking about his team? He was like, we played the other day. And he had that man, that 40-year-old almost Croatian. Is he Croatian? No.
Yes.
Is he Croatian? Yeah. He ain't got no problems. What's wrong with our players?
Kovacic is what, 6 years, 7 years younger? You would think.
He ain't sitting out there saying, oh, we got a 30-plus-year-old man out here in our midfield and getting run through. Because there was some playing it. There was some playing it.
Eric. They were not playing PSG. I just want to put that out there. Who did y'all beat? Was it Stuttgart? Who was it? Who did Real Madrid beat? Exactly. See, I don't even know.
You know what's funny? Like, you know what's funny?
Point proven.
Respectful.
The way you said that was like we ain't been ran through by other people. Like PSG is the only team that's ran through us recently.
Okay,
but that was 2 months ago. And I'll get you.
But that was a must-win game for both of those clubs yesterday. Like I thought it was true violence, like passion and everything. And we mostly did. Y'all had the lead, but y'all did the same. Like y'all lost the lead a couple of times this season.
9-9 para mí.
What's going on? I thought we were friends. I thought we were doing good.
These are the same facts. Hey, ain't no
I
right
said
about-
he ain't lying.
Let me say something to JT though. I've always said on the pod, I think City models itself more after Real Madrid than Barca, because Barca's reliance on La Masia, we know what it is. Like you got to build that new talent, get that world class player, and then you build up. That's how you make the money, all that stuff. Whereas City's like, hey, we can have a great academy, and we're gonna sell off because we're going around the world to find people. Maybe not Galacticos, but we're gonna find those stars from different places and like raise them. And you see it with this generation, right? Like I call it the UN, and I think like people want to have like Terry. I know Terry loves the academy, right? For me, there's like every 1 or 2 years, you might get one player that sticks through. Terry, I know Tom loves James McAtee. You got people that love Rico, people that are sad about Cole. My guy's Nico O'Reilly. Like you find your one, but in reality, it's like we got to go find the best players. And like the defenders we signed, JSP is great.
Yeah.
But there's a reason we went out and found 2 other central defenders because they do something a little bit better, right? It's just this is the way it works, and I think you all set the standard. And have y'all ever missed a round of 16 in Champions League? Is that the record? Like y'all never missed it, right?
No.
So like that's what I want to be. Like all I want is top 4 or 5 with the coefficient. Just get me into the Champions League every year, and I'll take it. You know, if they made the rules, I'm gonna take it because y'all are the standard when it comes to international competition. Like it's crazy that every year y'all are in at least the quarterfinals since I've been a soccer player.
Yeah, I mean it's you know, I obviously don't play the club. I've been to the games, I've been to the stadium, walked through and everything like that. Like it's definitely like in the DNA of the club. Y'all getting there. Y'all definitely getting there. Like I really feel like just the Pep effect alone helps that. But you know, I just think y'all situation, y'all have players that are just old. I mean, the whole Kyle Walker situation, like I sound hypocritical because we got Luka out there doing it, but like you just got to figure out how to
captain.
You just got to figure out how to get the players to like really just buy into like the club and what y'all do. And when you win a treble, man, it's almost just like I mean, again, I don't know how those players feel, but like, do I got energy to try to do that again? Like, I don't know. I mean, but at Madrid, the standard is Champions League. Now, for the fans, we always want to beat Barca. We always want to win the league. Champions League, it's not icing on the cake, but I think majority of fans would rather win the league than Champions League. But I think there was a little bit of shift to that when we were winning like back-to-backs. Mm-hmm. But the standard is the league and beating Barca. The Champions
League. It must be nice to say with what, like 13 Champions Leagues? Goodness gracious, man.
It's crazy.
Man.
You know, I was talking about their midfield, and my bad. But I was talking about their midfield, and I was, giving props to what's my man name? Old dude.
Luka.
Croatia. Luka. Yeah, Luka Modric.
Old dude.
I'm trying to make you understand who I'm talking about. But the reality is their midfield used to be him and my dude from Bayern.
Tony Cruz,
right? So, but they planned for those players to be phased out. I think they're just more ruthless than what we have been, because you saw Casemiro, you got to go, bro. And then we're gonna bring in Camavinga. We're gonna bring in Tchouaméni. We're going to bring in these young players that have the legs. Right now, we don't have no young players that have the legs to do the running to allow a Gundo to just be in play and just make ping passes or whatever, right? You got to go out there and run. He's not in that place no more. Luka's not in that place anymore. So you pair him with these other cats that's going to do all the running, or you bring him off the bench after everybody else has been running all day, and now you can just play. I just think from a squad building perspective, we got a little bit complacent. And Pep said it. He was like, we knew we needed to change. He said, but I'm going to try to give it one more go. I really think that Pep thought this was going to be his last year. And so I want to keep the squad. I don't want to do a rebuild. Mm-hmm. And then it completely fell apart. And he said, I can't leave them like this. Yeah. So I got to renew. And now we got to try to get these players in so that we can get back to that place before I leave in 2 years.
Yeah. I agree with all that.
But we got it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy
We'll
talk
get you
right
out of
there, but he
here
did it.
if we can. So please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you.
I'm only on Blue Sky now. John Tolbert. Social game is crazy. I started out on Threads. I'm not on there anymore. So if you follow me on there, just come over to Blue Sky.
Hey,
that's where I'm at. I love what you guys are doing. Seeing people that look like me doing this for the game and stuff like that. I always support that. I support y'all. Maybe I'll do it, but the content y'all are doing, I ain't no City fan or nothing like that.
It's all good. It's all good.
It is all
But I'm always gonna support
appreciate
y'all, man.
Yes,
I appreciate the invite, but I really do respect what for the game, your club, and your fans, man. Keep doing it. I'm just glad that we able to have a platform like this and just talk about ball, man. Like this is a beautiful thing. The banter is for the social and when we let each other, but like this having this conversation, this talking football, like it's just great. So whatever y'all do, I'm a support it always. So I appreciate.
Can you come back for the next round of Champions League when we get the draw? Can you come back?
Oh yeah. Champions League is my thing. So
and if we draw, I had him on for a Breaking Bread when we faced Real Madrid. Yep. So if it happens, he'll be on again for that.
That'll be fire. Yeah.
The playoffs is gonna be crazy because top teams can face top teams right now the way that it's set up. So
yeah.
Lovely,
man. Thank you so much, bro.
Yes. Have a good rest of the night.
Appreciate you, man.
See ya. All right, time to bring out the final guest. Let's go. First time. So one time for the first time. Book up. Kathleen, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hello. Thanks for waiting so patiently. Sorry for the wait.
Yes. Absolutely. And I showed up in a shade of blue. It felt like the festive thing to do.
You're killing it already. Look at you.
Brought the cashmere out.
Oh, okay. Luxury. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
We're ready. It's cold in Kansas City.
And it definitely is. And I saw that. Speaking of Kansas City, it's the current. How has the offseason gone after getting so close and having the final in your stadium? Like, how has the offseason been for you?
I think the offseason's been exciting. Rocky Rodriguez, obviously a huge name coming in, and that'll be really interesting. They, towards the end of the season, it seems like held their own kind of goalkeeper mini camp. Like we signed a whole bunch of people in rapid succession, and then ended up not keeping Schultz, which I was a little surprised about, just because she seemed to fit in so well. But then AD, Franch leaving, and now they've signed 2 more international goalkeepers, so that'll be fascinating. And obviously Temo Shawinga is just incredible to watch. So bringing her back, having Dabinia, that high-powered offense is not going to be any slower this year.
It's and Tom Baum, he had to handle some business, but I know he was very excited about being able to chat all things Kansas City current.
Tom's hilarious. We're little press box buddies.
Yes. Hey, we are.
Wait. Hold on, Kronk.
Yeah.
How is Tom in the press box? We see the hats, we see the fits. I need to know, what is Tom like in the match? Is he super professional? Does it get like, oh, I'm a real fan? Like, give us the Tom, POV.
I would say largely professional. He's the best dressed, obviously. But then he brings some sassy commentary throughout the game.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. Some of it's out loud. Most of it's like in a little private chat. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And then, even having the final here and kind of seeing everybody like kind of pivot to like, oh, I guess here are 2 random teams. And then also Melissa Etheridge is here doing a half-hour press conference. Like, who knows? So that was a wild time as well. But really exciting stuff going on in Kansas City. Obviously, that stadium is cool. It's weird now, a year after it opened, that it feels small. and like 11-5, I mean, was the minimum, and then now it's like, oh well, they sold out every game, and then they held a final, and now I feel like we should have had 4,000 more seats, which they do have some expansion plans, but just having soccer back in Kansas City, having them embraced as well as they have been, and having the backing of owners who seem really excited about it, and then now their kids on the team, so potentially even more excited.
How did that feel for you to like have the first ever stadium for women's football in America? Like, what was that like? How did that hit your heart?
It's really wild. It's a really special experience. I mean, I was here. I briefly I covered FC Casey when they were here for the Kansas City Star, and then ended up going front office with them briefly before they sold and moved to Utah, kind of, and then kind of moved back, whatever. So, I mean, I've seen this league grow so much from like a high school football stadium where they were playing to the Sporting Casey practice fields to, now having their own stadium. And, it's really incredible that it's here, and that, also that it's spurned so much other development across the league. I think that now, you had to have somebody kind of break the ice on it, and then now it's like, oh well, here's a training facility, here's a stadium plan, here's whatever they're doing in Boston with their unnamed team after that PR disaster.
Boss Nation.
Boss Nation.
Balls.
That's the energy for NWSL, right?
Yeah, that's 100% the brand.
Let's go, Boss Nation. Yeah. Drink some beers.
But yeah, it's been really special for me. I mean, even when I was back at the Star, fighting for newspaper inches to cover women's sports, and now all of a sudden we're here. We've got women's sports publications that I'm working for, and it just feels like a totally different world from 10 years ago.
That's very dope. Okay, so we hit Casey Curran, and then you're just talking big picture growth of WOSO. I see this Carol in the Man City. I don't want to necessarily touch the. Oh, sorry, Tarek, were you gonna say?
I was gonna go into that whole big picture growth of women's soccer, but we can talk about it afterwards. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean let's go.
So I wanted to ask this question because I think our first guest, we were talking, I think it was the first guest, I don't know. Anyway, the whole Deloitte Money League came up, and just how teams have been valued on the men's side is where you only ever, I never really paid attention if they ever even produced a list for the women. And as I was looking it up, I saw that they actually do have a list for women. And Barcelona, and it looks like these are just European-based teams. They didn't have any NWSL teams in the list, but like Barcelona Femenil is listed at 17.9 million. Arsenal is right there at 17.9. Chelsea at 13.4 is in third. Man U at 10.7 is in fourth. Real is in fifth at 10.5. And then Man City was sixth at 7.9. And I guess my question really was, I see those values, right? But then I see NWSL expansion fee for $110 million. And those don't seem to line up to me. And maybe it's just 1 year versus, a longer term thing. I don't know. But do we think that, and again, I wish there were NWSL teams in this list, because I'd be interested to see how much they skew this list, because it feels like they should be. Well, again, this is about how much money you're bringing in.
Angel City.
I guess my question is, Sportico released their own valuations for teams, and Angel City was up there, obviously. I mean, they've got so much celebrity backing. And then, now we have the Igers involved in the league. So we've got Disney money coming in. And this 2024 valuation had Angel City at 250 million. Current at 182, San Diego Wave at 132, and Bay at 121. Then in fifth, the Washington Spirit at 95. So then also Washington Spirit, obviously you have the Michelle Kang crossover. And so she's, been wildly successful in the women's space. But, I think that obviously an expansion fee is, a little bit of a vote for the future kind of thing where, you want to make sure that somebody's really invested. And I think that that's been a really big focus for this league after, frankly, some really disappointing owners that weren't invested and just kind of were messing around the first couple of years. They really want people who are focused and who are going to put everything behind this. And so I think, what we're seeing on the WSL side and just internationally is that people are trying to kind of find that balance of how do we build up the women's team and, keep bringing in all these huge names and doing all of this while running the men's side and knowing how valuable that is. And I think that that's a really tough balance when you're sharing so many resources. And so it's a little bit of a blessing and a curse on the NWSL side where there's not a ton of ownership crossover. So I think they can, look at it in a little bit more of its own vertical. But I would just expect those valuations to absolutely explode over the next couple of years, with the brands getting involved. And, this is the kind of women's sports moment right now. Frankly, the countries who we expect to be doing really well internationally aren't. They're slipping because Brazil all of a sudden is super dominant. And, you kind of expect England national team's going to do well. The US is going to do well. Canada do well if they're not cheating with drones. But yeah, I think
hold on 1 second. I don't mean to completely. I have to just.
Yeah.
John just added us. There it is. There's a selfie with him.
That's
love
perfect.
that. Shouts to Flo.
That's so wild. Oh my gosh. But I actually wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh man, sorry, I actually forgot. But I did see Sharpie. You had your hand up, so I will quickly pump fake and give it to you.
Kathleen, I'm sorry. I'm going to pivot to Triple Espresso.
No, you're good.
Because they were a renaissance for me. I've always followed the USWNT since 2011, right? Love them, love everything. And this was the first where I'm like, okay, our front line looks like me. They're exceptional. Mm-hmm. We get the gold. And now we see, even in the back line, right, Gurma's leaving. How do you feel about the fact that Europe, and specifically the WSL, is going to be coming for the NWSL's best talent?
I mean, honestly, I think it's exciting. It's kind of a all ships rise situation at this point. Obviously we would love to keep, that homegrown talent here, but at the same time, if we're competing for their players, then that's kind of fair game for them to come for ours. And again, I think that especially with the free agency that they've done this year, getting rid of the draft and the NWSL, doing that unrestricted free agency, I think we're going to see a lot more movement, and clubs are essentially just going to have to step up. I mean, they're going to have to give you the, classic WSL men's treatment at some point where, you're going in, you've got a huge dedicated locker space. You just have to keep upping the game to compete. And, I think Caroline is a really interesting example because, she's been successful in the NWSL, but she ends up in, one of the smallest and unfortunately least successful markets where North Carolina just hasn't fully embraced that. This is Layla.
Hey, we're big dog people here.
Hi, Layla.
Oh yeah, she's a little boxer blue healer.
Yeah.
She watches a lot of sports with me. Hi, ma'am.
That's a lot.
Hi. But yeah, so she ends up in kind of a interesting situation there. Hi. Okay, that's too much. But yeah, again, I think it's a great sign for kind of competition and for getting people just that international exposure and having to compete, for people to choose which Olympic team they're going to be on. I mean, that's been really exciting to watch. Even that with the U.S. competing for a couple of players they maybe thought that they were going to get regardless. So, I think ultimately the pressure is good for everybody, and it definitely makes the game more exciting to watch if it's not all in one league. And I think we also saw that, with the La Liga crossover or the Liga MX crossover tournament this summer. There are just so many talented teams out there, and for the first time in the last 2 or 3 years, I think they're really starting to branch out and look at those other countries, kind of like you were saying at the top of the show with the Man City Men, kind of going out to countries where you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about scouting there, but here we are. And, we have the Shawingos at the top of their game, in France and here. And, I think we're going to see a whole lot more diversity on that Ballon d'Or list.
Yeah,
that was what I thought about when you said, I'm like, the exposure to Europe opens up the Ballon d'Or to those players. Like, if you get Trinity Rodman at Arsenal,
oh yeah,
you get Naomi Gurman, you get Sophia Smith going somewhere. Like, now it's like, oh, Europe sees you. We know they had the majority of the votes. It could definitely swing voting. And I think, isn't Rapinoe maybe is she the only American to win a Ballon d'Or, or is somebody else win it? She's the last one to win it, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then,
okay.
I mean, it's so weird. Germa, I think, should have been up for every award. Germa was phenomenal.
1,000%. Yes.
Like, weirdly underappreciated when I feel like, I don't know, all of us are talking about her. So, like, who isn't?
Yeah, and she did it on every
Lindsay
level,
Horan
too.
on a list, and you're like, why? Like, thank you. You did great, sweetie. But, like, we need some younger people on there. Well, and we have to keep them from getting injured. That's the other thing with the U.S. team. We really like to bang up our young talent.
I feel like the new manager, she's been doing that. I've been seeing lots of rotation.
Yeah.
The lineups have been popping up, and I'm like, new name, don't recognize that. New name, don't recognize that. New name, don't recognize that. And that's exciting.
Well, and then now Lynn Williams got married, and so you have to get used to that name too.
I'm sorry, what was it changed to?
Oh, Lynn Williams got married a couple weeks ago.
Biandola? Is it Biandola or Biandola? Yeah.
Is that why everyone's like upset right now?
NWSL Media Day today.
Okay. That's why everybody's upset. I just saw people talking about upset about name changes, and I was like, what's happening? And
let her live her life.
Honestly, like, dang, like, be happy for somebody. Why can't we? Okay. Let's go.
Do you think, and Charlie mentioned going or playing in Europe opens you up to the Ballon d'Or voting, but it also opens you up to Champions League, which we don't have an option to play in by being in the States. Is that really the biggest draw for those players? Because, I was talking about, and I went out and found how much revenue teams are bringing in so I could compare it. And the U.S. teams are bringing in decently. I mean, KC Current and Angel City are bringing in 35 plus. That's double what Barcelona or Arsenal are bringing in, right? So our top is really high, even our lowest at 6.5 for Chicago Red Stars. I feel like there's
just the Stars now.
The Stars now. They were the Red Stars.
Come on, comrade.
I'm gonna always call them the Red Stars, but anyway. So I guess it's not. It doesn't feel like it's the money. It has to be something else. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out if it's pretty much just the Champions League, or is it something else that would make you want to go? I mean, there's probably any number of reasons on any individual player, but is that the biggest thing, really, the Champions League draw?
I think it is. I mean, you've seen players, even the last couple of years, trying to kind of figure out like how they're, especially when money was slightly harder to achieve. But, I think because the NWSL is still relatively young, we had this whole batch of players when it began, and they were like, well, I want to play for my home state, but I've also always dreamed of playing for this specific squad, or, you know, and they get that opportunity, and it's like, well, yeah, you're not going to turn down that kind of once in a lifetime play for, you know, the logo on your chest rather than the name on the back situation. And so I think that there's still definitely a draw there. And I think that, you know, there are a lot of players who see a lot of value in kind of that international game, because it is really different than the NWSL. I mean, I even went to, it was a preseason game, but the Chelsea Arsenal women's game in DC last year. And then it was back to back with Washington Spirit Casey Current, and it was like, man, this is still a very different game. It's I mean, I would say theirs is a lot more methodical. Ours is still a little bit like just run and score. And then Kansas City didn't do that at all, and so that was a real weird game. And they got, I think it was 4-1. Then it was like, oh no, is the team broken? What happened? What did Orlando do? What did Marta do with her dumping the ice bag out and running around the field celebration? But yeah, I mean, I think when you get down to it, it's just the established names versus like, well, I mean, it'd be cool to play for Bay FC, but like, what do they have going on? And there's still so much coaching turnover and roster turnover here.
I mean, they paid Dana Castellanos $1 million buyout fee to just let her go to Portland.
Just go away.
Like, what?
Right.
That's insane.
Wait, Portland was confirmed? She's going to Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I missed that.
I'm pretty sure I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, just in the same day. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure she was bought out before, but it was announced that she was bought out, and then 12 hours later, she plays for Portland. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Well, and like, yeah, I mean, today was media day. And it's like, yeah, you have players sitting there that are like, I might be playing for this team this year. We'll see. Like, because they're like this free agency period right now. And it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll see. Or transfer period, I guess. But yeah.
That's fun. Okay.
It is fun. Yeah. And I mean, I think, you know, it's opened me for sure to kind of the whole world of it. I'm still kind of a baby fan of the international teams. You know, obviously gaining a lot of knowledge through the Olympics and then through players here, and, you know, watching Kansas City and Orlando, I feel like I know everyone in Brazil now. Yeah, I mean, really appreciate what you guys do and just bring so much knowledge to it. And it's been really fun, especially in my couple of days cramming for this and listening to so many old episodes. I'm like,
appreciate that. That's nice.
This is fun.
That is so unnecessary, Kathleen.
Also, you definitely didn't need to cram for this.
Like, that is a journalist, right? That's a journalist.
I woken up from a nap and came. Like, that would have been
stressed about it. Yeah, I pulled out the cashmere. I have a half screen up of like FB Ref. I have the transfer tracker from Equalizer.
She was like, I was going to answer every question y'all asked.
Her level of seriousness for this level of unseriousness is hilarious.
We call it, like, I feel like it's called the lit stream, but no one, like, I guess gets
takes it as being lit. I literally openly drink almost every Thursday. I stop at 7-Eleven.
I know, I saw that wine glass. I was like, I was hiding mine off screen.
No, we are adults. This is an adult podcast.
Let's go.
We do what we
well,
want.
This is all of us just trying to earn that invite back, my guy.
Well, no,
oh my God, come on, as much as you want.
Like, yeah, you try. You don't have to work that hard. Trust me.
Please don't. Like,
Crunk,
we're family.
Is Dry January done, Crunk? Are we breaking news?
Yeah, bro. Like, I did as long.
You got 3 weeks. Did you get 3 whole weeks?
I did. This is the first.
There you go.
Okay, first one. All right, cool.
Yeah,
that's enough.
That's enough. It's been a trifling 4 days. It's been tough.
I saw that and I was like, is this man drinking apple juice or is that wine?
I bought all kinds of different seltzers. Well, not seltzers, like soda waters, carbonated beverages. I've bought like 5 or different ones. I've just been trying different things, and it's
Nothing
just
hit the
not
same, bro.
working. So you know, it's just a little bubbly. It's a little brew.
Yeah.
It's
Welcome back to
nice.
the dark side, my boy. I'm happy to have
it's
you.
nice. It's
You know, I'm
nice.
always here
It's
for you.
good.
Hi,
I 21 days, like you did say, Sharpie. I am a big believer in that. It sets a pattern. So I'm in a good pattern. I also, while I'm here and I'm at it, I want Chicago Fire, you motherfuckers. Like, yeah, I know you guys already like aren't good with connecting with people who very much love you. Like, I get it, but they started sending me emails randomly. Like, I got in some random like email chain, and then when I reached out to them about it. I was like, hey, I would really love to start going to some games. I live 3 hours away, but like, how does any of that stuff work? Haven't heard from them. And then I share on Chicago Fire, or I shared that I want to go to their opener, but they have a video on their website that the days are mixed up, and I don't know. I'm not a big, like, this is my first year trying to dive into MLS. And then they respond to some snarky thing with a screenshot of their Twitter account, and it's just like the date on it. And I was like, that wasn't helpful at all. Do you want me to go to your game? Like, what are you doing? How,
There's some
as an
teams
admin,
out there with a lot to learn on the comm side. It is wild.
There's a reason why they are only bringing in $6 million over the course of a year in revenue, and what did I say?
Call them Pro Boys.
Angel City's bringing in 35, 36. There's a big difference. 6 times. 6 times. There's a big difference.
Like, it was just like, so, because I earnestly wanted to support them, because I got homies who are there at the games and stuff like that and are supporting them despite constant the same energy. But me, it was just like, I don't need that shit.
The Bears and the Fire are the same people, bro. Just constant losers. The Bulls
like,
too. The whole city be losing.
Like,
the whole
bro,
city be
like,
losing.
all I wanted to do was come to the game and root for you guys and be like, woo, I know you're gonna lose,
Jake's
but go team.
Jake's left. Okay, good. Okay.
The crazy part is, I literally was having this conversation with myself earlier today, because living in Indiana, right, and then thinking about Chicago being the closest big city that has NFL football, NBA basketball, Major League Baseball, MLS, NWSL. It has everything in Chicago, right? So I'm like, I should just WNBA. Thank you. See, I should just move all of my fandom to just be, I'm going to be a Chicago sports fan. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, that would mean I got to suffer through the Bears. I got to suffer through the Red Stars, the Stars.
Choose joy, Terry. Choose joy.
I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Your baseball allegiance.
Choose joy.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm okay with that, but I just didn't know if I could do it. And I was like, I literally was having this conversation on my way to my kid's basketball game in my head. I was talking to myself because, I'm old. I do that stuff. I was trying to figure it out.
Talk to myself. I was listening to Shades of Blue.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, "Ooh, that was a bad choice."
I love it.
Yeah, Kansas City, they're like, there's always a rumor that we're getting an NHL team, and then now people were saying, wow, the mayor threw his hat in at the very last minute to be like, oh, we would love a basketball team, and it's like, man, they've had their list finalized for years now, but we're getting women's professional volleyball in 26. I hope that's still on time. Who knows? But then Big 12 tournaments hosting at the soccer tournaments hosting at the current stadium, which went really well last year. And then, we've got a lot of NCAA stuff. So they're building something here. But we'll see. But yeah, I had to go to Chicago to watch a WNBA game. And so, and then I'm actually going to an exhibition, not exhibition. It's, but it's like they're traveling and kind of testing new markets, I think. But in St. Louis, they're doing a PWHL game in March. So I headed down to that too. Trying to get a little taste of everything.
Support women's sports.
Funky on mute.
Oh, Am I? I think I'm just.
You are now. Not anymore. We're good now. But.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was just my internet messing up because I wasn't on mute. Oh, well, I was just saying I love it. That gives you an excuse to travel and support women's sports for sure. Well, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
I am also on Blue Sky. I found some fancy code to delete all of my Twitter history, so I'm going to explore that once I'm done safely getting through this phone call and not blowing my computer. But yeah, on Blue Sky, KGIER, and then working with the Next and the 9, which is women's sports newsletters. Then a little bit Equalizer covering NSL and editing and helping run their website. So kind of all over the place, but really excited to be here and catch up with you guys.
Hey, no, we'll definitely have you on again because the NWSL season, when that starts back up, because Tom missed out, so we'll have to have you on.
I know.
Even see if we can get PJ Green in here and just have like a giant
Casey
party. Yeah.
I know he left us on the sports beat. He went to breaking news. He's all fancy now.
Okay, big time. I didn't know
that.
Okay, let's go.
When he was just a little lowly sports guy. Now look at
I'm about to message him right now. You motherfucker! Why haven't you talked about it?
Yeah, he just told us one day. He was like, "Well," or I don't remember if he wasn't in the press box. Then he was like, "Gonna miss you guys," like on Twitter, and we were like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm not coming back." And we're like, "What?" PJ.
He said some post like my first time back in the locker room. I was like, you always in the locker room. Clearly he's not anymore. That makes sense. Okay. There we go.
But now we can come into the Chiefs playoff run.
Of course, naturally. That's breaking news, right? Come and take up all the aura.
Get to come in.
Look at that. Woo, in front of the camera.
Is it breaking when it's 7 years in a row? I'm tired of him. Sorry.
Breaking news. No, I went to the game the other day. Just I got tickets from somebody and I got a bunch of texts and they were like, "Oh, you were at the Caitlin Clark Taylor Swift game," and I was like, "Oh."
That's hilarious.
I was like, "I'm pretty sure there was a whole ass game on the field. I don't know who was in a box."
The skybox was amazing. It was a clash of worlds. It was beautiful.
It looked cool. It was good night. I was watching the game trying to stay warm.
God bless.
That's fair. Well, please, I'll be in touch because, like I said, we would love to have you back on. You have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Whoa. What? Man, that was a nice. I love the lit stream. Like, for people, I mean, shout out to Kathleen. Like I said, listening to old episodes, like that's Selma,
never heard that before.
Patreon, like that's great.
Whoa. We're moving. 2025.
Whoa. 2025.
Here. Look at that.
And shout outs to I connected with Russ Nightlife. He's a Nottingham fan on Blue Sky.
That's who you were messing back and forth with?
Yeah, no, he's like
Matt was mad at Liverpool. He was so mad.
Yeah, right. And just people who are honest and just like earnest and willing to have those conversations. I love that shit. He listened to an episode, he reviewed, he like said plenty of like I love the vibes. We are here like obviously we're still growing. Like we're not even at 3.
City's the foundation, but we're spreading our wings.
We have a WSL podcast, The 12. We have a wrestling podcast, your favorite wrestling podcast, which I'm about to leave here and just go start talking about wrestling right after. We got a secret podcast that I do not post about that I do with a buddy in London. And we got Arsenal 86, Arsenal podcast. Like we're out here. We're doing some things. We're having fun. Come check us out. But again, shout out to our guests, Selma, JT, Kathleen. Oh man, hold on. Nope.
Saturday double. We got a Saturday double. City women play very early. There will be no show for that. It's 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and then in the afternoon, the big match, Chelsea at Man City. What's going to happen in the Battle of the Blues? Oh boy. We doing a watch along, Kronk?
Yeah. Let's
get it. Me and Kronk, we out here tapping in.
Let's go.
It's
always a good
stressful.
time.
Come watch us be stressed. It's gonna be fun.
Oh man. All right, everybody. We will see.
Have y'all checked what the win percentage is since y'all been doing these watch alongs? I'm not saying it's y'all fault. I'm just trying to find anything that could be
You know what, Terry? We're
contributing.
not gonna have that. I'm nope.
Anything that could be contributing to.
It
We
ain't my
gotta get rid of all this this losing
I have
streak.
nothing to do with what's on the pitch, on the court, on the field. That is all superstition. These grown men and women got to do what they got to do. Okay, go do your jobs. Go run faster.
Superstition worked out really well for Stevie.
Great, incredible song. Touche.
Yeah,
It did.
Worked
It
out
did.
really well for them.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I'm so sorry. You know the vibes. Shady gang. Shady gang. Shady.